live after week 1 of professional football, and my hair is everywhere. I literally just showered, and I can't keep it where I need it to be. Okay, real quick before we get started, let me tweet out the stream from my personal social. Let's see. I want to pull up the chat too, just in case we get live stream chat. Okay. Just in case we get anybody in from YouTube. If you are tuning in, follow CarterCast on X. Subscribe on YouTube. There we go. We got one watching. And so YouTube's looking good. Twitter's not. Twitter's not working, but that's okay. We'll move forward with it. And hopefully it populates here in a second. Let me pull up. YouTube. Just make sure everything is looking okay. Okay. Week 1, NFL. We're back. Yesterday, I had a bunch of friends over. We watched Bears Titans in the early slate. We watched a mix of the middle games. We watched a little bit of Steelers Falcons. We're back, and it's finally time for preview season to end. And now we are in the mix of the football season, and we can start to form some opinions about these teams. Going into the season, it's always tough. All you really have to go off of is rosters and how you think guys are going to perform. But now it's getting a little bit more concrete. We can say, hey, we have data points now to back up some of these takes or some of these opinions that we have. So if you did not watch the show last year, this was a show I did not do from the CarterCast socials. This is a show that I did from my own X account. And essentially, it was like a 30, 45-minute show. I preview the previous week's action, and then I recap the previous week's action, and then I preview the week coming up. So what I'll do to start is I'll go through every game. I'll look at the box score. Some of these games I watched. I'm one person. I cannot watch all of the games at once. I usually spend my Monday looking over tape of the games and form some more formative opinions. But the purpose of this is to identify spots for next week that might be advantageous for betting. And last year we saw a lot of success. One that comes to my mind is we got the 49ers as a pick'em against the Eagles, and I think it closed -3. It didn't end up mattering, but these are the kind of things that if you want to bet early, you want to try to get the best of the number. I am going to try and point those things out as the season goes and as we do these live streams. So real quick, I'll try and touch on every game. I'll be short with some of them. I'll be longer with some of them. Like I said, some of them I watch, some of them I'm just box score watching, and some I have opinions on. Some of them I don't yet. Some of these teams I still don't really know what to expect. So we'll start Thursday Night Football, Ravens-Chiefs. The Chiefs win 27-20. Patrick Mahomes puts on a clinic. We have 291 passing yards, a touchdown, and interception. In the previews, I touched on the Ravens not being up to par like they have been in the past years. Not that their window is closed, but they lost some key pieces on that defense. And they went and got Derrick Henry offensively. I think that fills a huge hole they had in the running back room. I'm not ready to count the Ravens out. Obviously, losing by 1 score to the reigning Super Bowl champs. And this Super Bowl champs Chiefs team, their squad is better than the squad they had last year. They won the Super Bowl. We saw Xavier Worthy coming out party. He had 2 touchdowns, a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. Him and Rashee Rice are 2 of the fastest guys in football, and the Chiefs have them on their roster, and they get to catch passes from the best quarterback in the league, Patrick Mahomes. So, Ravens fans, I kind of counted you guys out. Not counted you guys out. I said you weren't going to be as good as last year. I'm not right yet. This was a very tough game, obviously, and we'll see how we go from here. Move on to Friday night. We have Brazil. Interesting note about the Brazil game. The Brazil game, people were losing their footing left and right. And I think the big question we're going to have to ask is, why are we still sending games? Like, you can tell that a field is not going to be suitable for a football game. These aren't soccer players. These are big guys taking cuts. It's soccer players are usually running straight or not making as severe of cuts as football receivers are. How do we not know this field's going to be bad? We have to know. So, just to prevent injury. What I take away from this, Jalen Hurts, 2 interceptions. I'm not going to say that Jalen Hurts is a bad quarterback. He didn't show us a lot. I wasn't really impressed with it. The defense stood up and they made the drive when they had to. The Eagles win by 5. Jordan Love obviously gets injured, and that's going to hurt Green Bay. I've heard that they are in talks to get free agent Ryan Tannehill. I hope they don't start Malik Willis. As a Titans fan, I know that all too well. Eagles win here by 5, and I don't leave this game thinking more or less of any other team. Well, less of the Packers because Jordan Love is going to be out for a while. Steelers Falcons moving into Sunday. Steelers win 18-10. Justin Fields only throws for 156 yards. Obviously, Russell Wilson doesn't play. He's dealing with a calf injury, and he was not available. Falcons did not look good. And I'm trying to think, what do I want to take away from this? I think the Steelers' defense might just be that good. I think that is the Steelers team that we're looking at right now. It's a team, the offense can be okay. And I believe in Russ. I think Russell Wilson will look great with the Steelers whenever he gets the chance to start and he's fully healthy. But the defense is just going to win them 8 or 9 games alone. And I don't take anything away from the Falcons either. Cardinals-Bills, fun game, 62 points. The Cardinals are just going to be a team, like they're going to be an overs team, right? Their offense is electric. Their defense is bad, and teams are just going to score on them. Josh Allen probably had the best quarterback performance of the week, I would say. 4 total touchdowns, 2 rushing, 2 passing, and 1 interception, 232 yards in the air. Titans-Bears, this is an interesting one to talk about because the Bears did not score an offensive touchdown. The Titans blew this game. Some stupid decisions by Will Levis, just throwing the ball away when he didn't have to, caused a couple interceptions. Overall, not a good showing from the Titans, but if you leave this game, you watch this game, and you think that the Bears are legit or you're ready to crown Caleb Williams as the best rookie quarterback, you can't because their offense was awful. The Titans' defense was locked. Either the Titans' defense was locked down or the Bears' offense is just bad. It's one of those two things. So you see the score, you say, oh, they beat the Titans by 7. I do not leave this game thinking more of the Bears. I don't really leave this game thinking less of the Titans. I think that these little mistakes that Will Levis was making, it's fixable. We saw that Pollard had success running the ball in the middle of the game, late in the game. That's something that I didn't expect to see. I was not expecting Pollard to be effective. He's getting a little older, but he was. So there's things to look up for the Titans team and the Bears team. I'm not ready. Like, I would look to sell on this Bears team because their offense was bad. Williams was missing wide open throws. So, not as a Titans fan, I'm not too disheartened there. Season's looking up, and the Bears, I'm looking to sell. Pats beat the Bengals outright. Joe Burrow only had 164 passing yards, and what a cast of characters on this receiving list. There are guys on this list for the Bengals. Tanner Hudson, who? Chase Brown, I know who that is. Trent Irwin, he's been with them for a while. Charlie Jones, is it Andre Iosivas? I don't even know how to say that name. And then Jamar Chase, obviously the leader. Patriots win. I think the Bengals defense is bad. That's something I've thought the whole year. There is nothing to show that they can stop the run. They weren't able to last year. They didn't do anything to address that this year. I do think that Joe Burrow has a history of starting slow, and I think we probably saw that. The Bengals were my survivor pick and all of my pools, and I'm already out on week 1 there, which is very unfortunate. But am I worried about the Bengals? No. I did think they were going to take a step back if you go back to our AFC North preview, but I think they're going to be just fine. It's nothing to worry about there. Texas 29-27. Not going to touch on this a whole lot. Richardson had some explosive plays. Alec Pierce had like 3 receptions for 125 yards, but the Texans come out on top. C.J. Stroud, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jags Dolphins, Tua had like empty yards galore. 338 passing yards, 1 touchdown. What were the Jags doing running that 4th down play? And there was just, I see the screen grab on X, and it's like, 4th down and 2, 4th down and 1, you should never be this far back from the line of scrimmage. And it was like Trevor Lawrence or someone it looked like 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Never move backward when you're running a 4th and 1, 4th and 2. No, just HB dive, or if you're the Eagles, you could sneak if it's 4th and 1. Even that, now we have questions about that. We do not know if that'll work for the Eagles. But Dolphins come out on top, 338 yards. Panthers Saints. Panthers might be bad. We might have to have a conversation about Bryce Young. And on the Carter cast, I have Carter and Connor who are Panthers fans, and they have given Bryce Young the benefit of the doubt before. They're not really giving it to him now. They said I didn't get to watch this game. They said he made some bad throws. I think he had 2 interceptions, I think. Let me look at the box score. He had 2 interceptions, no touchdowns, 161 yards. The QBR of 10.7. I was higher on the Panthers coming into this year. I think maybe Carter and Connor talked me into it. I wish I wouldn't have listened. Vikings 28, Giants 6. Giants have still not scored a passing touchdown since the beginning of the preseason. Going into week 1. Going into week 2, they still haven't. Sam Darnold. We might have to have a conversation. Something I said at the beginning of the year was Sam Darnold is going to be an interesting use case because he has something now. He has 2 top wide receivers. He has an offensive line that is good. We saw some promising things from him this week. 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Aaron Jones looked like he had some life in him still. I know he's getting older and some of the concerns where he can't stay healthy, but 94 yards on 14 carries isn't bad at all. And I think the Giants are still just going to be bad. It's tough, but I think they're just going to be bad. I'm going to turn this heater off real quick. Okay. Take a drink of coffee too. Broncos Seahawks. This was a game I watched most of. I watched most of this game. Kenneth Walker has a great day. The number one thing that impressed me here, I'm gonna have to get a haircut. Oh, brother, it's so bad. The number one thing that impressed me with the Seahawks, their tackling looks so much improved from last year. And one of the questions I had was, is the addition of Mike McDonald as head coach going to address any of their defensive issues? He was great at Michigan. He was great in Baltimore. And it has. It appears the early returns show us that it has. Now, the Broncos and Bo Nix might not be a great offense, and that's fine. I can give credit there. They kind of let the Broncos drive late for a meaningless touchdown. That doesn't hold that much credence with me when I think about the Seahawks' defense. I was impressed by this defense. This defense was better than I expected, and they were making tackles in open field, which I have never seen from the Seahawks in the last 2 or 3 years. So I leave this game being high on the Seahawks and not super high on the Broncos. Cowboys-Browns, Tom Brady broadcasting debut. I was not too enthused with his debut. Now, I think he'll get used to it as he goes along. A lot of people were talking about that, but I'm a Tom Brady fan. I just don't think I like his voice either. But hey. Cowboys win 33-17. Deshaun Watson, awful showing, awful showing. Honestly, Dak didn't look that good either, but Deshaun was just missing wide open passes. It's a problem. And if you're Kevin Stefanski, you have to at least think about giving Jameis Winston a chance. You have to think about it. I mean, the team was getting booed. You had John Fanta posting a video that he was done with the Browns after they allowed the kickoff or punt return touchdown. But I also think the Cowboys' defense is that good too. And they made the day rough for Deshaun Watson. Commanders, Bucks, Baker, 4 touchdowns, 289 yards. Mike Evans did his thing, made Baker look really good. Jaden Daniels, 88 yards on the ground, 2 rushing touchdowns. Really not much to take away here. A lot of people were saying, oh, Baker's the guy, Baker's the guy. I don't know if I'm ready to believe that just yet because I think this Washington Commanders defense might just be that bad. And Sunday Night Football, Rams-Lions, 20-26, overtime. I fell asleep, hand up. I fell asleep with my phone on my belly in bed. Once it was overtime, I told the Cartercast boys, I was like, there's no shot. I can't stay up for this. Rams blew the Cartercast parlay, if you follow that. We had plus 3.5. In the overtime, I knew it was toast. So, very unfortunate situation there. Rams looked good without Puka, and that maybe is an indictment on the Lions' defense, as they really just let the Rams drive down at the end of that game to score the touchdown to win, and they did it without Puka. So you had Tyler Johnson as wide receiver 3, and they were able to go down and score with ease. I mean, it really, they weren't met with any resistance at all. So I leave this game maybe thinking a little less of the Lions. Goff had some costly, timely interceptions, and the Rams were able to put something together without one of their best wide receivers. Matt Stafford, 317 passing yards. Okay, let's get into this coming week. Like I said, I have some opinions now, mainly about the Bears, Titans, Seahawks, Browns. And let me see if I can share my screen here. Yep, that's way too small. But what I will do... Okay. If you're watching, I can't see Twitter right now, but if you're watching, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Twitter. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscriptions on YouTube very shortly, and we're trying to get to 500 followers on X. So please, 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 please do that. Okay. We're going to look ahead to week 2 and see if there are any line movements we can get ahead of. You have the Dolphins -1 against the Bills. Not really thinking anything there. The Dolphins didn't look great until the end of the game, and the Bills, we saw that they could put up points, but that was against a really bad Cardinals defense, so I'm going to stay away. And week 1 through 4, this is still like form and opinion type thing. I don't have my power ratings yet because I need a couple more data points. I don't like to bet big. I don't like to bet often because there's just things we don't know yet. There's still things that we're trying to figure out. So, Chargers, Panthers. We didn't touch on Chargers, Raiders. Chargers, J.K. Dobbins had a great game. There was a fight. Some players got ejected. No one is going to rush to bet on the Panthers right now. After Bryce Young showing last week, no one is going to rush to bet the Panthers. So, if you like the Chargers, I would go ahead and take it early at 4.5. I have taken it at 4.5. I think it goes up probably closer to 6.5. No one's going to want to bet the Panthers. So if you like the Chargers, bet it now. I already have. Saints, Cowboys, we see the Saints as a 6.5 point underdog. I think the defense is legit. I like the under here. I haven't taken it yet, but the Cowboys defense and the Saints defense are both pretty good. And I'm not saying that to the Saints because of their performance this week against the Panthers. I'm saying that because of the research that I've done in the offseason as well. I don't trust Derek Carr. Dak, I do trust, but he didn't have a great game last week. Now, granted, it was a great Cleveland Browns defense. I'm going under here. under 45.5. Raiders, Ravens. Raiders did not impress me, and the Ravens, it's still like, what are we getting here? So I would lean. I'm not going to take it. I'm going to lean Raiders here. Bucks, Lions, 6.5, 7. This is really just what do you think? The Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield had a great day. Jared Goff had a costly interception. The defense looked suspect at times. This is a personal preference of what do you think's going to happen to this line. I don't see people wanting to rush and bet the Lions after Sunday Night Football, but I could be wrong, and that's why I'm going to stay away from this one. Jets, Titans, like I said, the Titans were more effective on offense than the Bears were. Take away the interceptions, take away some bad decisions, and the Titans win that game. I took the Titans already against the Jets, and this is kind of a look ahead. I don't know what we're going to get from the Jets tonight. This could balloon up if they have a great game. It could go down if the 49ers blow them out. So I took Titans already, plus 4.5. Seahawks I already took as well, -3. They say this is the best odds, but I got the -3. I can't remember where it was, and I can't scroll over right now. But the Seahawks impressed me, right? And I think we're getting a little bit of a tax here on the Patriots because they beat the Bengals, but we know Joe Burrow starts the season slow. I like the Seahawks here -3. I have taken that already. Browns, Jags. The Jags had some goofy play calling decisions, but the Browns are also bad. I mean, they're bad. Deshaun Watson is bad. I'm going to stay away because we're only working with one data point, and I haven't seen anything to convince me to take something. But Deshaun Watson has some serious problems. 5.5 here. You see it opened at 6.5. Got to see something from the 49ers tonight. I think the Vikings are good. I might hop on this after Monday Night Football and after seeing how the 49ers perform, but nothing right now. Colts, -3. Go, 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 go. If Malik Willis starts for the Packers, this Colts team will destroy them. Malik Willis is bad. He's a bad quarterback. I know. I've seen it. Even if they get Tannehill, you get a guy that has 1 week to get acclimated with the system. I don't like that at all. I'm saying Colts. I'm saying -3. Go before it gets past the 3. It'll end up at probably 4, 4.5. Unless they sign Tannehill. It might stay there. But Malik Willis is so bad, guys. This is an awful game. I'm not going to do anything with this game. Rams, Cardinals. This is interesting. The Cardinals are only a 2-point underdog. We know the defense is bad, but the offense put up some numbers against the Bills. My heart says take the Rams, but I'm almost never going to bet against a home divisional underdog, so I'm going to stay away. Bengals, Chiefs. This is an interesting one. No one's going to be rushing to bet the Bengals, so if you like the Chiefs, get it now. But I'm going to wait to see if we get a 7 here. Joe Burrow has been the only quarterback in the past 3 years that has proven that he can beat the Chiefs. He's done it, I think, 3 out of 4 times, 4 out of 5 times. I will wait for this, but keep an eye out. And I'll tweet out from my personal account if I end up getting it at 7. No one's going to be wanting to bet the Bengals right now. No interest in betting the Bengals after losing to the Patriots team who they thought was really bad. Steelers, Broncos. I like the Steelers here. We saw their defense show up. They held the Falcons to 10 points, forced 2 interceptions. Bo Nix has not shown us anything. No one's going to rush to bet the Broncos. Steelers -2.5. I love it. Russell Wilson plays, Justin Fields plays, whoever. This is all Texans. All Texans. The Bears didn't score an offensive touchdown. They were not good on offense. I love the Texans here -6.5. I know it's lame. I know it's the favorite. But the Bears are still a full-on fade or sell for me because that offense showed me nothing last week. Then we have Falcons, Eagles, Sunday Night Football. No one's going to rush to bet the Falcons after scoring 10 points and getting field goal to death, right? The defense stood up, I guess you could say. I don't think anybody thinks this Pittsburgh Steelers offense is top-notch, but if you like the Falcons, maybe wait for 7. It probably gets there. If you like the Eagles, I would say bet it now. I haven't done anything yet, but that's the – oh, wait, no, Monday Night Football, and it's not going to show it to me. What's Monday Night Football? week 2. Oh, that is Monday Night Football. Sorry. So they have the dates under the games. That's my bad. So that's Monday Night Football. Sunday Night Football. Bears Texans. Okay. So that'll wrap up this week's show. The official picks. Let me stop sharing my screen. The official picks that we have so far, we're going Chargers -4.5 against the Panthers. Saints Cowboys under. Titans +4.5. Seahawks -3. Colts -3. Steelers -2.5. Texans -6.5. A lot of favorites. I don't really like that, but that's kind of the name of this game. You bet favorites early, you bet dogs late. And what I will do is I will quote tweet this on my personal account at Wilkerson A. Dillon, and with all of the picks. And then in that thread, if I add anything, I will add it there. So be sure you're following both at CarterCast, at Wilkerson A. Dillon on X. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Everything is much appreciated. Thank you, everybody, and Monday Night Football.